you feel like you're not getting as much done as you could and as you should, then you have to pay attention in this video, because I will lay down my 9 secrets of how I really do it. I will break down the exact secrets of how you can get more work done in one day than others get done in a week. Because let's be honest, most people are unproductive, lazy idiots. They just sit in front of their computer for a few hours per day, 6 hours. They feel super productive. But then as soon as a message comes on WhatsApp, or as soon as they get hungry, they get totally distracted. And that leads to the fact that at the end of the month, they sit down and realize, I haven't really gotten things done. Because if you're brutally honest with yourself, and you feel like you're not getting as much done as you could and as you should, then you have to pay attention in this video, because I will lay down how I really get more things done, even though I have more stuff on my plate than pretty much every single one of you that's watching this video, 100%. Right now, I'm training 2 times per day, like a pro athlete, because I have a boxing fight coming up in April. I have multiple 7-figure companies. I have my family to take care of. I have people to take care of. I have people to meet. I'm flying between countries 3-4 times per month, and I still get my stuff done. And I want to teach you how as well. So, step number 1 is wake up earlier. As stupid as it sounds, but every single one of you that tells me, yeah, I'm not a morning person, I like to work at night, that's just an excuse. Every human on this planet is more productive once they change their sleeping rhythm to waking up earlier and working straight up in the morning while everyone's sleeping. Every single one of you. I'm not telling you that you have to wake up at 4 a.m., but wake up at 7, wake up at 8. Then you still have 2 or 3 hours until most people get to work. Most people get to their job at 9 a.m. They talk a bit, chit-chat with their friends, then it's 10 a.m., 11 a.m., and then they start working. So if you start working at 7 or 8 a.m., you have a massive advantage. And this turns into a massive upward spiral, because 2 hours more work in one day per week, that's 14 hours per year, that's 600, 700 something hours. I'm not good at maths, but you get what I mean. Wake up earlier. It's the simplest point of all, but the most important one, because it is just the time when you really get things done. Your focus is the highest. You can lock in on specific tasks that need your full brain force. Now it's like 8:30 a.m. when I'm recording this. I've been up for 2 hours and I feel super good. Next point, work in blocks. You probably hear all the YouTube gurus talking about this, but you have to work in blocks. You need to have specific blocks for specific tasks. The way I do it, I wake up and at around 8 a.m. I have one deep work block for 2 to 3 hours. Then I do training number 1. Then I have lunch. Then I do deep work block number 2 after lunch. Then I go on a short walk or something. I do a light work block for around 2 hours where I schedule not super important calls, where I do the other stuff, but we'll get to priorities later. And then I do my training number 2, I have dinner, and I go to bed. That's exactly what my day looks like, and that's what works ideally for me. That's how I function the best. Number 3, use smart breaks. Because, after like 45 minutes, 60 minutes of deep work, you will feel like your brain needs a quick reset. And how can you do that? Use motion. Push-ups, go on a quick walk, breathe cold, fresh air, and also switching tasks. Like, it really helps you to feel more energy. For example, I had a few meetings I had to prepare earlier that took like 1.5 hours. And now I'm doing the YouTube video, which I had to prepare. So that alone just gave me more energy because I'm switching the task and I have a new focus. So don't jump from task to task, but complete one important task and then move to the next one. That just gives you more energy. Combined with smart breaks, that's how you truly use your deep work phases. Number 4, sit down in the evening. Think in 2 categories. Think about main tasks and side tasks. The main tasks, I'll call it the red list, is stuff that moves your business forward, that's important, that is urgent, and that has a fixed time, for example. And the other stuff is stuff you can just squeeze in. It's not super important. You could do it in the light work blocks. And this is exactly how I do my to-do list. I have 2 lists, red list, yellow list, and I sort it like that. And I prepare this list in the evening, and throughout the evening, I add to it, and in the morning, the first thing I do after doing my push-ups, having my coffee is I revise this list and add things to the list that come to my mind. Number 5, kill random calls. Random calls are poison for your productivity. Just hopping in a call with someone and chit-chatting like two grannies over coffee kills your productivity. You need to have fixed calls and call blocks. I do most of my calls here and some of them here. If it's super important, I do it here. If it's not really important, I put it into this block. So having a random call and just sitting and winging it is so stupid. You need to have a fixed block and a fixed agenda, or else your call is bullshit. That's the 2 rules. Number 6, preparing for meetings. This goes hand in hand with the last point, but most people just go into meetings. While the meeting, they play online casino or do some other stupid stuff, respond to their friends on WhatsApp, whatever. If you're the CEO, you can do it, but if not, and it's still not smart if the CEO. So you need to sit down before a meeting and make an agenda. The whole meeting will be much better if you as the CEO have an agenda, what you want to talk about and what you want to get. There's 2 things you should think before. What do I want to give and what do I want to take from a meeting? Try it. Sit down 20 minutes before a meeting and write it down. Force yourself. Believe me, you'll have much better meetings from now on. Number 7, impact versus effort. I have this beautiful graph which will help you to analyze where should be the priority and what is not super important. You have to rate every task on a scale of impact and effort. How much impact does it have on my business? Let's say optimizing the client acquisition process. Impact is obviously very high, and the effort is also pretty high, but it's nothing too crazy if you have good systems and a good team. So let's put it around here. And if you compare this to reading through all your old business chats, the impact is more or less low. The effort is crazy. So obviously this here should be in your priority. This should be in your red list. So this will help you to understand which tasks you should focus on. Impact versus effort chart. Keep it in mind. Number 8, plan follow-ups. If you need something from someone, be this pushy guy that's just annoying and gets things, he demands things to get done. If you need, let's say, a video from your editor, be the guy that follow-ups 2 times per day. Write it into your to-do list. Follow up editor Peter for the video. If he doesn't respond, follow up him again. Be this pushy dude that just demands things to get done. Because in some of these things, you will need to rely on people. And if you follow up people and keep them accountable, that will make your day and life much easier. Number 9, the final point. Set proper goals. This sounds like it's some ordinary business woo-woo, but most people miserably fail in this because they do not know how to properly set goals. And I've talked about this in many videos on my channel, but once you have a goal in mind using the SMART method, Google it, you need to break it down into 3 to 5 underlying smaller action steps. Because most people sit down and they make some stupid unrealistic goal. I want to make 10 million next month. And then they just stop at that point. You need to sit down and what do you really want? And what are the 3 to 5 action points that have to be checked for that? Because in 99% of cases, it's not more than that. And keep in mind, a phrase that really stuck in my brain and that I want to give you in this video, that I want you to keep in your head. If you truly understand something and comprehend it, then you can explain it in 5 to 7 sentences. So if you don't understand your goal, then you'll make 500,000 little action steps and massive checklists. But if you understand your goal, you can break it down into the key points. So use these 9 tips and you will get more work done in one day than others get done in weeks. Trust me, try it, and I'll see you in the next one.